What is going on, y'all? Chest and triceps today, as per a usual Thursday. And these, I'm about to munch on one. These Kodiak chewy granola bars, very tasty. And if you want to get some quick carbs, quick protein in, that's the way to go, right? They're just a good pre-workout snack, I think, rather than like a little candy bar or something, because they have quick 20 grams of protein. You can eat like 2 of them. Yeah, super easy. But on the agenda, same as usual, man. Nothing really changes, you know. I mean, I'm gonna go in there, attack some incline bench press, you know, do what I've been doing the last couple, you know, chest days, because I've been really enjoying incline benching, because it's a replacement for me for bench pressing, which everyone knows bench pressing is one of the most fun movements. But if you're like me and can't sustain a healthy body while doing flat bench, well, I can replace that with incline benching. That's the thing, is don't push yourself on a movement that you keep getting injured on, unless you're a powerlifter, right? But even then, it's like, why would you want to stay doing the thing that's keeping you injured? That just doesn't sound fun. Like, I have a buddy, and he's talking about going to bodybuilding. And one of my points to him was, I mean, he gets injured a lot, and I'm not making fun of him like that. You know, he's a strong guy. You know, I'm pretty sure he's done well in powerlifting. But how I see it is, after my last time doing bench press, and I messed up my shoulder doing 225, I gave up on it. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not putting myself in a restricted kind of environment where, okay, I can do this one movement, and then I'm going to be out of doing shoulder or chest movements now for a week or two now, because I wanted to go heavy on bench press. It contradicts everything that I stand for when I talk about intensity and, you know, and staying healthy also, which is, you know, because I think number one is, obviously, you need to train intention, you need to train past failure, right? You need to train to failure. But you also need to do it in a smart manner of not ego lifting. You know, I see some guys who are just ridiculous with the way they lift. Because, you know, I'm not going to make fun of anybody who lifts and wants to push themselves. You know, I'm not going to, you know, if I see somebody in the gym, and I see somebody doing a little something stupid, but like, they're still hitting the muscle group that they're doing and they're training intense, I'm not going to make fun of you, dude. Go on in, dude. Do whatever you need to do. But if somebody ever asks me tips on their form or anything and I see it, I'm not going to lie to them. There was this one guy who was asking me if his depth was on par, because he was doing a squat PR on the Smith machine. Why did they slow down this much? That's kind of weird. And he wasn't the biggest guy, right? He wasn't like small, but he wasn't the biggest guy. And I mean, I didn't see his legs because he was wearing pants, but he was asking me, hey man, is the depth good? And I didn't really see it, but I saw where safety pins were. No. That's what I told him. Like, if your safety pins are right there, you're more likely weren't hitting depth, right? And so, I don't want to talk with my mouth open, but pretty much, train smart. If you need to look up form, Jeff Nipper, peak. He knows dang near everything about fitness now. But I'm somehow still dealing with the cold still for like a week and 2 days now, week and a day. It's annoying, but we're gonna go hit this chest day now. I'll see you guys in there. Alright, so first set we got is some incline bench pressing. I probably could have gone a little heavier if I had a spot, but I just wanted to see my strength by myself, kind of. So if I failed here, I guess I was doomed. But pretty much just get a good stretch on the chest, get a good squeeze at the top too. Train around the 4 to 12 rep range, and I did 3 sets. This is my second set today. Next we got a pec deck. Instead of doing it on that red one over, I did it on this one just to see what I could do weight-wise in this one, and I'm already doing max stack almost for this one, so it's a lot easier over on this one's weight-wise, but just make sure when you're doing this, you're trying to touch your elbows together rather than your hands so you get less shoulder activation. Retract your shoulder blades and kind of move your butt up on the platform more, on the seat I mean, to just emphasize more chest. Train around the 4 to 12 rep range again and do 2 to 3 sets. Now for triceps, we're going to do 3 sets of an easy bar push down, going around the 4 to 10 rep range. Train heavy with these. Train to failure, do some partials at the end. And just make sure you're going slow at the top and squeeze at the bottom. Now we got some skull crushers, and pretty much you're just going to be squeezing your elbows in to get more tricep activation. Training around the 1 to 3 sets for this, around 4 to 10 reps. Make sure you're not going too heavy, but heavy enough where you get a great activation in your triceps. And make sure when you do the movement, kind of move your arms a little back so you're getting more tricep activation. Next we got is just a great squeezing movement for the triceps, which is just a rope push down. One of my favorite movements personally. I love it. I know they have like a lot of controversy with it in the bodybuilding community and the fitness community, but personally, I think it's a great movement if you want to get a good mind muscle connection, a good pump at the end of your workout. So train a little lighter if you want to get more blood flow, but train a decently heavy if you just want to working sets like such as I did. And if you want to make it a little easier, so at the end of your set, put your hands in the middle of your range of motion in your body, and then make it even a little easier to do more reps. It's just like I did just now, kind of move back. Train the 1 to 2 sets and about 8 reps. You can kind of see the chest bump a little bit. I don't have as much striations anymore, but I have bump. Ooh. I'm just fucking around. That's how it is when you have a pump. You just kind of turn into a caveman for a second, and then you're like, oh yeah, my pump's about to deflate in 2 minutes, dude. Because for me, a pump, dude, sometimes I'll pose. I did a little pose down. I'll probably post that. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever the pump is juicy, it wasn't juicy, but whenever it's better than usual, I'll post it. Because it's like, I don't want you guys to see my physique when it's like not pumped or anything, you know. I'm not Sam Sulek level yet. But I'll get there eventually. And also I'm bulking, dude. But the thing is about it that's funny is I had more confidence in my physique when I'm bulking rather than when I'm cutting. And that's just because I didn't eat enough carbs. If I ate how many carbs I'm eating now, dude, I don't know how some people look so shredded and veiny when they're eating no carbs, dude. Because I just feel like I look depleted, dude. I look like I'm like anorexic, dude. But it was a good pump today. Good workout. Went a little heavier than usual on, not than usual, but I went a little heavier on incline bench, and I got 195 for 5. I'll take that. So I know my bench numbers, my incline is going up. So I'll take that. I'm never going to complain about numbers going up because I will say, even though I'm never going to be a power lifter ever in my life, maybe when I'm like 40, 30, no, not when I'm 40, when I'm like late 20s, maybe early 30s or something. But right now, I'm going to train the way I always, like, I'm going to train the way that I'm training right now, probably for the rest of my life, to be honest. Until, like, my body just won't recover for each workout. And it's like, dang, dude, I'm not going up in numbers or anything at all. Let me start just getting a pump, and then let me just do functional training. But that wasn't what I was going into. What I was going into, though, was even though I'm a bodybuilder, the number chasing part of it is still fun. Like incline bench, even though I'm doing sets of 5, sets of 6, sets of 7, sets of 8, maybe even more than that, it's like I'm still chasing numbers in a way, right? Like I don't want to be stagnant on my bench, right? On my incline bench, you know. Same with everything else. I don't want to be stagnant on bicep curls even, or none of that, you know, or even lateral raises for how hard they are to progress, you know. Even though shoulders are pretty easy to grow, in my opinion. Like shoulders, for me personally, they are probably the easiest thing to grow. I haven't really done them like much. Like I've done them once a week, right? If that, but like I say twice a week, but I'm only doing like 3 sets a workout for them. Like 2 sets of laterals and then a set or 2 of rear delts. So I might do like 8 sets or something, or 4 sets a week for them, but sometimes I won't do them at all, right? And it's not because I don't want to hit them. It's just because, for one, time, and 2, out of my physique, on my arms, shoulders are the thing I need to focus on. I think my arms are very good, though, to be honest. Like everyone, like on my physique, that's the one thing that people compliment me on, is my arms a lot. And the funny thing is, when I was like, when I was starting out my physique, my arms were not the thing that were my dominant point. They were a weak point of mine. It was always my shoulders that looked good. But then my arms started growing, and so it's like, where'd all this come from? And I genuinely think it's just from training triceps heavy and hard. Because I think what a lot of guys do, and what I did in the beginning, was I just like did a lot of just squeezing for my triceps. And that's so fun in games, and that's cool. And I think it's not horrible to do. Like sometimes I'll go just do the max stack on like a tricep push down. I'll really just emphasize that squeeze, right? But there we go. It didn't clip in. That was weird. But other times, that's shaking a lot. My bad, guys. I don't know you get shaking. But this highway's just bumpy. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. But like triceps and biceps, I think everything, you're typically training around the same kind of like rep scheme and the way you kind of train it. Meaning like how much you use mind muscle connection, and how much you squeeze, and how much you get a good stretch, and how much weight you're usually doing around, like not entirely, but it's like, I'm trying to think of like a rep scheme. Like I use maybe 75% of my 1 rep max, or maybe a little bit more than that, for my sets, right? That's why I'm doing sets of 5 and stuff. So maybe it's like, I don't know exactly, but you know, you kind of base off whatever you like to on your own training and how you love to train. Like some guys, I mean, they could do 2 reps and they'll grow. And I personally, I don't think you can do that. Well, no. I personally think I can't do that. I can't grow from just 2 reps. I can't grow from bench press over my chest. The Trend Twins can. Now they're on, you know, a lot of steroids, but that's not to say that they didn't have a great physique when they were natural, and they what's the word? And they were always bench pressing then. But they were also football players, which I think when you're in like football and stuff and you're doing bench press, a lot of the times when you're in the gym after football, after you're done with that, you probably do bench press. You know, I was never a bench presser, but like when I was in weights class, for some reason my shoulders never hurt. But now that I do it on my own, my shoulders always hurt doing bench press. So I just have shoulder problems in general, dude. I gotta get them checked out, or I just gotta focus more on mobility, I guess. I've been slacking on my mobility. That's what you don't want to slack on, kids. Do not slack on mobility. That is functioning. The functioning of your body is one of the most important things, and that doesn't mean go train mobility work all the time, right? That doesn't mean you have to work on your hip flexors all the time. Maybe once a week, but at the end of the night, just do stretching. 5 minutes at least. Personally, I've been slacking. I might do 2, maybe 1 sometimes, which is really bad. Not 1. Probably like 3 minutes of stretching sometimes, which is just real quick. Which is like the downwards dog. Not the downwards dog. Whatever this one is, where you're upright and like you're stretching your lower back out. And then I'll do one for my abductors, for the inside of my legs. One for my calves, one for my shoulders. And sometimes that's it. But other times I'll do like my full routine, which will take me about 10 minutes. But my buddy, he's in jiu-jitsu, and he always talks about stretching and stuff. And one time before he came over to my house, he did like an hour worth of stretching. And personally, I think that might be a bit too much. He doesn't think so. I just think that there comes to a certain point where your body might, like, honestly not like that. But maybe I'm wrong, and honestly I probably am, because the more the merrier with stretching, probably. I don't think you should go too far, like how much your body can handle range of motion wise. But like, if you can stretch for that long and then feel good after that, hey, props to you, man. I personally just get, for one, I get bored, and 2, I'm like, okay, I think I'm stretched out enough, you know? But that's static stretching at the end of the night. Dynamic stretching before your workouts, your running, or, you know, whatever. Because I was talking to my dad about it yesterday when I was out to eat with him, and he was saying how he has like a bunch of like calf problems, not a bunch of calf problems, but he has like, his legs get tight and stuff. I was like, do you do any stretching? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you know what kind? And he was like, no. I was like, you don't know static or dynamic? He was like, no. I'm like, static is like the ones where you're kind of like staying still and stretching, and the other ones is like moving and stuff. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, if you want to feel better while you run, do the workout, look up like a dynamic stretching workout before you run. So I hope he actually does that, rather than just kind of listen to me and then kind of be like, oh, why does my legs feel so tight still? And then be like, oh, maybe I should listen to my son. Uh-huh. No. But I hope he does. I just want him to feel good while he's running. As I want anybody to feel good while they're doing any type of activity, physical activity, because that's the most important thing for you. And if you feel something wrong, you might not be taking the precautions of actually doing what you should do, which is, like I said, stretching or doing any of the sorts. So, but I will see you guys in the next video. We're going to be training back and biceps, maybe some shoulders, I don't know. Also, yeah, I never record shoulders, but I might, because you guys should see a shoulder day every now and then, because I mean, it's very simple. I don't know why I don't record them entirely. I just like think they're kind of boring to watch. But you might say that about all my lifts, right? Personally, I just think like I used to watch Toki a little bit. Shane Stouffer, I think his name is. He's an entertaining guy. I mean, that's purely what he does. He's just a gambling steroid addict. He's a great role model for the kids. But he used to do those edits, and when he did lateral raises, they looked cool, and he even said they looked cool because he would cheat on them. But mine are usually pretty strict and not super cool looking. But hey, I don't know if you guys want to see that or not. You guys, let me know in the comments if you guys are watching to the end of the video. Let me know, because I would love to know if you guys would like to see more kind of exercises like that. Because I even show like if I do like wrist curls or something like the cables. So I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video for back and biceps. Goodbye.